Hello, and welcome back to Talk with Coach, the podcast where we deep dive into the realms of sales, leadership, and personal growth. I'm your host, Becca Goldsberry, an elite sales and leadership coach with Southwestern Consulting. I am excited to embark on another insightful journey with you. Whether you're a seasoned professional aiming to sharpen your skills or an aspiring, hungry leader for knowledge, this podcast is your compass for success. Join me as we explore strategies, tactics, and mindset shifts necessary to thrive in a competitive landscape of sales and leadership and business in general. Get ready to unlock your potential, seize opportunities, and conquer challenges like never before. Buckle up and let's hop on this transformative voyage together, and welcome back to Talk with Coach. So today I am very honored to have this guest with us. She is a client of mine. She is in Ohio. And her and I, we've been working together for almost 4 years. And what I admire about my guest the most is her heart and the ability to want to serve as many of her clients to the best of her abilities. And her team are amazing. So let me introduce you all to Roni Bell. She is an agency owner with HealthMarkets. She graduated from the University of California, Santa Barbara, with a degree in sociology, which is really cool because I graduated with a degree in sociology and psychology. She said she had many student loans, and so she went to work instead of going to grad school, and she started with Circuit City and worked there 10 years as a store manager. She left Circuit City in 1999 to help her husband with his insurance business, and that's how she became a licensed agent. She has been with HealthMarkets in many capacities since that time, and her storefront is in Brunswick, Ohio, and they just celebrated their 10th anniversary at this location. So, Roni Bell, welcome to Talk with Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you asking me.
Absolutely. Okay, Circuit City. Let's face it, back in the day, Circuit City was so cool. Everybody wanted to go to Circuit City and grab the TV and, the big DVD players and all of the things when they came out.
It was a fun time. I started there when they were a smaller company. They had less than 100 stores, so really watched them grow quite a bit. I left before they ended up closing, but it was fun to be with the company and grow myself into the management role, and then also just watch how the company grew nationwide. It was a lot of fun.
That is pretty cool. So when you were at Circuit City, what were some of the biggest takeaways that you learned as a leader from Circuit City? Maybe how they did leadership differently back then, or some of those big aha moments that you really just kind of helped develop you as a leader today.
They really had excellent training. I mean, a lot of the training you see in other industries, they really did a great job with that type of training of the employees. One of my favorite quotes that somebody said there is, "You don't mess with people's time or their money with your employees," and that's always stuck with me. That you have to, make sure that your people are protected in that way. That you're not trudging on their time outside of work. So, now I don't text people outside of work just to ask them a quick question when they're not at work. I don't. I leave them alone. You don't mess with somebody's time or money. Those are core values for treating your employees right. And the first step.
No, I love that. And that kind of reminds me, when I had asked you about like the one business tip you kind of tell everybody, on how to grow their business. You mentioned that your number one tip is always the same, right? And it's do the right thing, right? Be authentic, genuinely care about clients and your reputation. So I think that kind of correlates altogether.
Oh, absolutely. And we did a lot of role playing and things like that at Circuit City. There was a lot of that training and ongoing training. And when you're the store manager, you get the complaints, right? Most people aren't coming up to tell you the great stuff. So typically that would be because somebody might have misrepresented something or oversold or pushed a sale and too many returns and things like that. So really learning about, everybody on the team's got to be doing the right thing for the client, not just making the sale today, but doing the right thing so that they're happy and they want to come back and send referrals. I mean, all that business building blocks are the same, whether it's a brick and mortar retail or something intangible like insurance.
Yeah.
It's the same.
So, what have you used with your sociology degree as a business owner? What are some of the things? Because I know as a coach, I have taken so many of my sociology and psychology pieces into business with me.
Yeah, Steve, it's been a long time since I was in college, so
It's
that's a
that
little,
long on.
a little bit hard to say, but I just love the study of people and groups. But the big thing about sociology is you're studying trends and you're studying larger groups. Your psychology, you're studying more individuals. Um, so I don't know exactly what I would say that I've taken out of my degree, but I would say that I went into that degree because I cared about people, from
Mm,
interested in people and interested in groups and psychology and how all those things worked. Um, but even in a mass society, everybody's an individual. So, same thing with the clients or Circuit City or sitting down for a Medicare. Everybody's an individual. And yes, you can look at group trends and you can look at how
yeah,
those things work, but at the end of the day, it really is everybody's an individual.
no, I love that. And you, like, we even talked about open enrollments coming up for health markets and everybody pretty much in that realm. So, tell us a little bit about what you guys do with health markets, how you help your clients, because there's people always have so many questions about Medicare and everything.
Yeah, so it's a crazy time for us. So the October 15th through December 7th is that annual enrollment, open enrollment. People can come in and make changes. So we're a face-to-face organization for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of ways people can buy product or learn about Medicare. But here at Brunswick, Ohio, we're pretty much almost 100% face-to-face. We have a whole lot of different carriers. So we meet with people, do some fact finding, find out what they like, don't like, and match them up with the plan that's a good fit for them.
Mm,
Um, so I have a team of agents as well that work with me. We've grown over the 10 years. I think I added my licensed agent probably 3 years ago. Um, so for a long time it was just me, but capacity dictated that I needed some other people. So we pretty much sit with people nonstop in open enrollment to make sure that their plan is going to be a good fit for them for the following year. So October 1st, we get to start talking about product. We don't get to talk about the changes until then, but to actually enroll in a new plan starts October 15th, ends December 7th, and those things go into effect on the 1st of January. So it's about crazy town now, getting ready, kind of like planning a wedding. This is the harder work. It's easier once it starts, but this is the harder work, is getting ready for that October 1.
absolutely. Are there questions people should be asking if they're looking, maybe they just retired and this is going to be their first year in Medicare? Are there questions that people need to be asking that maybe they don't, or most people don't realize they need to be asking, or bring certain documentations when they talk with somebody? You know, where can you shed some light there?
Oh, people don't know what they don't know in another industry, and all the information, and especially seniors, they're getting all this information from their neighbors, their family, their friends. I mean, you walk in any McDonald's on any given morning and you see the coffee guys, they're talking politics and they're talking insurance. So people come in all day long with misconceptions. Well, my buddy told me I have to do this, or my sister's doing this, and people are trying to give them good advice, but they really don't know what they don't know. So my advice is, yeah, you need to come in, you need to really be able to look at your particular situation and find out what options you have. You don't have every option forever. Some things have limited, not, you don't have to answer health questions for 6 months and you only have a 6 month guaranteed right. So people think they can do that every year and they can't.
Mm,
So they really need to come in and talk to an agent that represents multiple carriers. If you go talk to the person, brand X, that's sitting in your drugstore or your grocery store that calls you on the phone, they're not comparing all the other carriers that are out there to make sure that the plan they're looking at for you is the best fit. So, you need to make sure doctors, prescriptions, and really what things you use the most are best covered for you.
no, I love that, because I don't think people realize that either. That you guys, especially health markets, you guys can actually look at lots of different carriers and really trying to find the best options for people.
Yes, and that's really the people always say, what's the best plan? There is no best plan, it's what's a great fit for you. I mean, if someone needs a knee replacement, you want to get something with the lowest outpatient surgery and the lowest physical therapy and the lowest MRIs, and maybe you're totally healthy and you just want more dental. So we can peruse through all those plans and help you narrow down. But your next door neighbor doesn't have the same situation as you.
Mm,
Um, well, they may, but most times they don't.
right. No,
So
I
you
love,
need to shop.
yeah. And so I love that you also remind yourself, but also your team, that it may be your 20th appointment of the day, but it's one annual review for that client. And so each client is just as special, and you guys take care of them, to the best of your abilities, because people actually look forward to talking with you guys, and each person deserves your guys' very best. So I love that, and that philosophy that you guys have as a team.
Yeah, I mean every person matters, and I always tell them up front. I don't. The people that answer the phone are admins. No one cares how tired I am, how many hours I'm working. I don't want them to feel bad for me. I get to help people make a good decision. So yes, it's a lot of hours. At least it's during the bad weather. So what else would I be doing? Right? So I'll work, 50, 60, 70 hours, 80 hours if I need to make sure that we meet with everybody. I don't ever want to hear somebody saying, well, Ronnie's working a lot. Well, I get to work a lot. So
Right.
if they're the 14th appointment of the day, I want them to feel like I'm as fresh as if they came in first appointment of a day on a Monday. So they do. People look forward to coming in. I mean, they like to see me. I have my dog Lucy. Lucy, come here. I
I
have my
was
dog
going to
Lucy.
say,
Um,
everybody meet Lucy. She's adorable.
so here's Lucy.
Oh
So
my goodness.
Lucy is the office greeter. She barks to let me know people are here, and people love to see her. She sits on her chair up front, although she has beds everywhere. But yeah, people love to see her. They come in, they go, "Oh, you're so pretty. I'm so happy to see you." But they're always talking to the dog. So everybody loves Lucy.
I know. She's such a good girl. So wonderful. Um, so what were some of the challenges that you had when you first started your business? What were some of the biggest challenges that you were working through?
My biggest challenges have always been like fear to take the next step. Like I'm
Mm,
probably truly in my business strategy ready to go before my mind would tell me that I'm ready to go. Um, so I opened the storefront. It took me a while then to add an administrative assistant. Like I said, it took me 7 years to add a sub agent. So some of those is just not always trusting my gut instinct and going forward, which with I know what I need to do.
yeah,
That's helped having Becca as a coach because there's someone that I'm talking to twice a month to make sure that I'm not just thinking about an idea for a year and not acting on it. Um, but that was probably just sort of holding out a little, like getting things 80% and not finishing that 20%, like just not taking the steps when I knew I needed to take them out of fear, lack of confidence, worried that it wouldn't be a good financial decision. Whatever this decision might be, it's just overthinking, perfectionism.
I think most business owners are like that, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, there's not like a lot of business owners overanalyze, right? They think and think and think, and then they just don't do and just stay stuck and
Yes.
get frustrated. And so, but a lot of times in our gut, we know what we need to be doing. We just got to go. Let's just go rip the band-aid off and let's go do it.
Yes. Yeah. I would definitely overanalyze things to the point that then I did not make progress. So trust that gut instinct and make the move.
Yeah,
You know when it's the right move. The rest of that 20% was just fear. So which is a good tell that you need to move forward.
it is. There's always that saying, if it's, you know, not scary enough, then it's not a good decision. But if it's super scary, it's the right move,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
So, so tell me, I know a lot of people, they also work with their spouses. What is it like working with your spouse in the industry? I know you guys don't have an office together per se, but you guys do work together. What's it like working with your spouse in the industry? What are what are some good things?
There's pros and cons to everything, and we do have very different roles since he is an employee of Health Markets and I'm one of the many thousands of agents across the country. Um, it's taught me to set some boundaries because otherwise we would probably talk about work nonstop. Um, so the other night, right before I was going to sleep, he asked me some work-related question. I'm like, great. Now I'm up thinking about all this stuff, and he's snoring. So that's not always great, but it is.
Rick,
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
thanks.
Um, it is great to have someone that, I mean, he's been in the business longer than I have since I said he started in '99, but who really understands why I'm passionate about what I do and is very supportive of everything I do and the hours and the passion for what I have. He's good about because I'm like a stubborn teenager a lot. Like, I don't need your help. I know everything. So I have to get over myself sometimes on that. But he's good. I mean, I was freaking out a little bit about just getting ready for this, making sure I can meet with everybody and get everything handled. So
Yeah.
he'll ask me now, would you like some help with working through that? I could give you some ideas rather than just always telling me what to do because he knows that I don't work well that way. So yeah, so it is great that I can really, I mean, he has so much experience and good ideas, and he sees things more macro than I do. And he's been that help, that nudge to get me to the next step and just give me the confidence when I'm lacking that confidence to move forward.
No, I love that. I know from personal experience, my parents, when we were growing up, we would be at the dinner table and all we would talk about is business. We grew up around talking business. And I think that's why my brother, my sister and I got burnt out by the time we actually finished college because we were so tired about talking about business all the
Hmm.
time, 24/7. So I think you nailed it. Boundaries is key, especially when you're working together in the same industry, family business, whatever the case may be. So I think boundaries is key there for sure. So do you feel, because I know you have two kids, both in college, and even one's down in UK. I mean, UK, Ronnie. As a graduate from the University of Louisville, that's treading lightly.
Well, she is a wildcat and she loves it down there, and she'll be staying down either Kentucky or northern Cincinnati. Um, so yeah, so and that's when we said I've had a lot of varied experiences through the years. It really depended on what was going on with the kids.
Yeah.
Uh, so when I mean I've not missed anything with the kids. I went to all their stuff. I still go to all their stuff, and but they've understood that yes I can go to a school event, go to these things, but you got to pick up the work somewhere if you're self-employed. It doesn't mean you start working 20 hours a week. So maybe I pick it up on a weekend or an evening, but they've always under they both have an excellent work ethic that I think has been taught through watching this self-employment process and seeing how things have grown.
So, with both of them being away at college, is it easier to find some balance and things that you and Rick love to do, or just having some, you know, off time flexibility to kind of get things done that you might need for the business?
Just to know you don't need to go home and make dinner is just freeing, right? So you don't have to drive anybody anywhere. You don't have to get anybody on a bus. You don't need to make sure that they're getting home at their curfew. Oh, it's freeing. It's sad because I miss them, but it really helped me focus on our business and also have more. Um, it didn't take that mental energy away from when you are raising them fully invested in the house in those school years. As a mom, it's a totally different scenario not having them there. So yeah, we get a lot more time together, but we still do a lot with the kids. We still see them quite a bit. But yeah, we have a lot more time together to travel or hang out or just do all sorts of stuff.
No, I love that because you guys love, and I know you and I talk about this, like you and I both love hopping on cruises and heading out, down to the warm weather while it's gross and gloomy and cold up here in the Midwest. So I know you guys love, as a family, taking trips, just being able to spend time together.
Yeah, absolutely. We do a Christmas cruise every year, so when I am working all those hours, I just look forward to sunshine.
Mm.
Know that we're going. I don't have to decorate a lot for Christmas. We do basic stuff because we're going to be gone for Christmas. I get the kids to myself because I'm not competing with their friends when they come home from college. So yeah, it really works out great. So I just figure we'll go to Saint somewhere every year over Christmas time and enjoy that family time together.
No, I
Uh,
love.
it's fun.
I know one of your hobbies is reading and reading really great books, and I know that you read Grant Cardone 10X often. Are there, what are some of the other ways that you love to pour into yourself? Growing, learning, just, sharpening the saw, so to speak.
I'm always listening to something on Audible. Like every morning, I'm listening to something business related. Um, and sometimes I'm just re-listening to something, but it just gets me in the right mindset. You listen to the news, it's just depressing. There's nothing. I mean, you can get your news other sources. So I feel like for me, the best way for me to get up and get going in the right mindset is to be listening to different books on tape. So on Audible, I've got Atomic Habits. I've got the 5 Second Rule from Mel Robbins. Just whatever I'm kind of needing. The all the classics. So I'll just pick something and listen to it. I don't even always listen from front to, from beginning to end. I may just jump in on something. I'll leave clips on things, something that I liked. I'll go back into those books. So, yes, I do read the newer books as they come out, but I re listen to the classics all the time of things that I know are good reminders for me. I also recently downloaded a self talk app just to listen to while I'm getting ready in the morning or going for a walk or just play in the background while I'm doing paperwork. Just feeding into those different ideas of being positive and moving forward.
What's the name of that app, Ronnie? Do
I
you
think
remember?
it's just self talk.
Okay.
Self talk plus, I think, is the name of it.
Okay. So, have you noticed a difference as you've been listening to the self-talk and your affirmations the last few weeks?
Yeah, as you listen and you listen more, my greeting somebody out there. As we listen more, um, you do kind of feel it replacing things that you've told yourself in your head. Like it's crazy how it works.
Right?
But yeah, it does become your new inner dialogue that pops up. So it kind of replaces those thoughts, and then you kind of realize like, oh, I just thought something different there. Um, and Becca, you're the one I think that told me about the book to begin with, and then I listened to
Yeah.
the book and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to download that app. So
Yep.
yeah, but I think what you say to yourself is important, and I think if there's so many times you'll run into somebody and say, "Oh, I just thought of you the other day, and if I hadn't seen you, I wouldn't have realized I was thinking about you." Your mind thinks so many things during the day that you don't even realize you've thought. So I think when you listen to those self talk, you do end up hearing almost like if you're losing weight, you all of a sudden see your body differently. But it's kind of the same thing with your mind. Like all of a sudden you realize you're thinking differently than you were before.
Right. Well, and I was going to say, we all have self-limiting beliefs, right? We all have something that, and down deep in the core, it always rears its ugly head. Maybe not every day, but once in a while at least, right? So to
For sure.
me, it's what do I need to reprogram my thought process to just keep burying that deeper and deeper so it doesn't come back up.
Right. I mean, there's some people that feel good about themselves all the time, no matter what, and they just have or seem to have unlimited confidence. Um, I kind of picture those salespeople that are the ugly stereotype of salespeople, which I've never wanted to be, and I'm just not. But I will still look at these people and think, wow, they really do a great job. Um, but I just think that that's never the salesperson I want to be or would be. I mean, I
Right.
don't consider myself a salesperson anyway. I consider myself a problem solver, um, but I don't consider myself a salesperson. I'm not in this to sell somebody something.
It's the heart of the servant seller, right? I think Dave Brown's got his book, Servant Selling, and it's just how do
Hmm.
we just help people get what they need or what they want without just selling them a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes. And it's really about being yourself and being authentic with people
Yeah.
that you meet with, which is what I think keeps them coming back in.
I think that's one of the greatest things about you and your team is you guys are so authentic. I think that's why, people love just to sit down with you guys and just come in and they just want a cup of coffee and have time with you guys
Oh,
because
they
you guys.
look forward to it. They can't wait. They like want to come in and hang out and see what's going on and check in with Lucy. And it's if on a 30-minute appointment, it's probably on the reviews, it's probably 7 minutes of insurance and 20 minutes of catching up. And we do it during mid-year review as well. But people just really look forward to these annual reviews and coming into the office. And I mean, they start calling in July now just to make sure they get their exact time that they want. So it's crazy. But yeah, and my staff is the same way. So my sub agents, obviously, um, I wouldn't hire somebody that didn't have the same heart. We all have very different personalities, which makes it work. We couldn't have like three of me or it'd be crazy. So very different personalities, but all have that same heart of helping. And we're like I said, we're 99% in person. I'm going to run into people at the grocery store, the dry cleaners, restaurants. I want them to be happy to see me. And when you do things right, they're going to be happy. I mean, things can go wrong with their health, but I still know I protected them the best that I possibly could for their situation.
No, that's wonderful. So how do you guys stay motivated through the crazy times of October through, January of open enrollments? How do you guys stay motivated? And are we just caffeinated with lots of coffee?
So yeah, we definitely lots of caffeine, and it is fun. I mean, it's just long hours. I mean, it's fun. We're seeing people that I mean, I've been here for 10 years. Clients prior to coming here, it's kind of like a reunion all day, every day, and then you also get to meet some new people. So Becca's helped me make sure that I take a lunch break and that I do set some boundaries. I was really bad about just going in the back and throwing in some M&Ms or a protein bar real quick, but Becca, has
Yeah.
really made sure that I said, okay, I'm going to take that hour. So I do want everybody to take their hour lunch, plan their vacation times so that they have that to look forward to and vacations before we go. And we like each other and we have fun and there's always stuff to laugh at, and it's like 6 7 weeks. You can do anything for 6 or 7 weeks. It's really
Okay.
not. I mean, people always go, how do you do that? It's not that long. I mean, if I was in a doctor residency for 3 years of 70 80 hours, that'd be hard to think through, but you can do
Right.
anything for 6 7 weeks. It's just not that long, and it's
Yeah.
not like it's the summertime when you could be out doing fun stuff in the sun. What sun? It's dark at 5:30, 6 o'clock. What are you going to do? So may
It
as
is
well.
Ohio.
Yeah.
So I guess if you lived in a sunny place like Florida or out west, it might be a little harder since
Yeah,
they've got
but I
better
need it
weather.
every day, so they don't have as much to worry about, right?
That's a good point. That's a good point. So, because I know you guys here in the summer, you guys love to take Fridays, head out to the lake, and just spend time with family and friends. And I think that keyword balance that we keep talking about is just so important, especially as a business owner, and just to refill your cup.
Yes, and you've got to be able to do that. So we just, I feel like I work shorter hours during the summer. I have a support staff here so that can meet the capacity. My daughter had an internship. She worked remotely, so she went to the lake Fridays and Mondays. So I get to see her more during the summer. So I took as many Fridays and Mondays to spend time with the family as I could, knowing that things were handled here. Um, my One of my part timers, she works 20 hours a week on the front desk. Was if she didn't want to ask for a month off, but her family had always gone to Florida for 1 month during the summertime. Um, but I gave her the month because
Yeah.
she's going to work really hard during open enrollment. She's going to work more than that, and your family time is important for everybody, not just for me and mine. Um, so encouraging people to take time with the family and do the fun stuff when you can. And we do dinners and get together, and I'll bring in food. Well, during the season, I bring food in. We don't go out to dinner so much, but during the rest of the year, we do team building kind of things.
I was going to say, how do you guys, are there certain things that you guys love to do as a team or that you try to do on a regular basis as a team just to kind of keep building camaraderie, just making sure you guys are on the same page as a team? What are some of the things as a business owner that you love to do?
We like to eat and drink.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so go out to a restaurant. We all love Mexican food, but go out to a restaurant, get together outside of the office. I've had things at my house, just a chance to connect outside of the office. And normally restaurants and those things are the easiest way. We've done some of the busier activity team building things. We did what is it, escape room, but you
Yes,
don't really have, and it was fun. But I'd rather just talk to people outside of work, not about work, than do something where you can't talk to each other. Um,
right.
so, but yeah, we do different stuff. I mean, people, I guess Debbie really wants to go axe throwing at some point. So we may do axe throwing at some point, but
Axe throwing's fun. I love it.
yeah, before the drinks and eating, could do axe throwing probably.
Yeah. You can have maybe one while you're axe throwing for that hour, but
Yeah, keep it.
yeah, we don't want any accidents
No,
happening.
no, no.
So that's awesome. I love it. All right. So I always love to end our podcast with, a final question, and it's what is the funniest story you can share with us, or something interesting about you growing up? So I loved your response, but I would love for you just to kind of share with us.
Yeah, I tried to think of a funny story, and I really couldn't come up with a great funny story. But an interesting thing about me that people are surprised by is that I actually am shy, which people find surprising in my given profession. But I did not speak in school until probably about fifth grade. I couldn't answer a teacher. I couldn't order at a restaurant. Now they would call that selective mutism. Um, but I just could not speak up, and no matter what punishment anybody would want to use, I could not physically get myself to answer a question. Um, so shy, so shy. Um, so it's just interesting to me when you see, when I look back and think of this little girl that was so shy that didn't want to speak to, I'll go now to HealthMarkets events, and we do well in the Medicare nationally. We rank well. Um, so now I can do panels, and there could be thousands of people in the audience, or hundreds of people, or I do seminars. But to look at the little girl that couldn't say thank you to a waitress that brought you food, or answer a teacher's question, um, it's just been a long journey of being able to speak up and use my voice. So people are surprised. They think that I'm very outgoing. I really am not. I'm really a shyer person. One to one, I love to talk to people, but I'm not the one that wants to walk into the room and be in the spotlight. Still,
Sure.
that has not changed. But at least now I can answer a question, or I can speak up, or order for myself at a restaurant, and found my voice.
I was going to say, do you remember, was there a time where you can pinpoint where you found your voice? Was there, you know, a moment in time, right? Some people will say, like, I know exactly when I found it. Was there that moment for you?
Hard to say when the exact moment was. I just remember it was probably almost to junior high school.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, and think of exactly what you do for work and for business. I mean, massive turnaround, my friend.
Yeah, you think I'd be a CPA, didn't have to talk to anybody, just working on the computer with my numbers or something.
Yeah,
Um,
or an engineer, right?
right. But yeah, that wouldn't work.
Absolutely. Well, Ronnie, it has been so much fun having you on with Talk with Coach today, and I appreciate you. And if anybody has questions, or if you live in the Brunswick, Ohio area, reach out to Ronnie for all your Medicare needs. She is a wealth of knowledge, and her team will take such great care of each of you. So, this wraps up another empowering episode of Talk with Coach. I hope you found today's insights valuable and actionable. Remember, growth is a journey, and every step forward counts. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on my YouTube channel or Spotify for more inspiring content. And hey, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, questions, or topic suggestions by reaching out to us on social media and through our website. If you'd like to schedule a one-on-one call with me to learn more about Southwestern Consulting's coaching program or our corporate training services, please click the link below to schedule a call. Until next time, keep striving for greatness, keep pushing your limits, and remember, your success story is waiting to be written. This is Becca Goldsberry, Take care and make it a blessed day.